So, hello everyone. In this video lecture, we will study the action of commutator. So, the alternating voltage generated can be converted into direct voltage, that is DC, by a device called a commutator. So, this is a commutator and commutator segment C1 and C2 separated by a mica. So, the above figure shows a commutator having two segments C1 and C2. It consists of a single ring cut into two halves, with two parts or segments C1 and C2 respectively, separated by a thin sheet of mica. So the commutator is mounted on the shaft but insulated from the rotor. So this is a basic diagram, that is how commutator is connected. This is a single loop turn, and the one part is connected to the segment C1 and other part is connected to segment C2, which create a positive supply here and negative supply here. So the coil side, that is this coil side A and B, C and D, and this is C and D, are connected to the segment C1 and C2 respectively. That is, this coil side segment AB is connected to the C1 and this coil side to the segment C2. The two stationary carbon brushes rest on the commutator and lead current to the external load. That is, these two carbon brushes, this carbon brush number 1 and this is 2, connected to the external load circuit to convey the current to the external load. With this arrangement, the commutator at all times connect the coil side under S pole to the positive. All times connect the coil side under the S pole to the positive, and and that under N pole, this coil side means under N pole is always connected to the negative. So always current flows from this direction, is from Q to P. So in figure A, the coil side AB and CD, coil side AB and CD are under N pole, that is AB in under N pole, and ACD are under S pole. The segment C1 and C2, that is the segment C1 connects to this segment C1, commutator segment C1 connected to the coil side AB to point P. The segment C1 connects the coil side AB to point P of the load resistance R, and segment C2, that is this segment C2, connect the coil side CD to the point Q. The direction of current through the load is from. After half revolution of loop, that is 180-degree rotation, that is the coil side, this is 180-degree rotation, that is the coil side is under S pole, and this coil side AB is under S pole and coil side CD is under N pole. That is this diagram. Coil side AB is under S pole and coil side CD is under N pole. The coil side AB is under S pole and the coil side CD is under N pole. So the currents in the coil side now flow in reverse direction. But the segments C1 and C2 have also moved through the 180-degree. That is, segment C1 is now in contact with positive brush and segment C2 is in contact with negative brush. That means the after 180-degree rotation of the coil, that is the coil side AB is under S pole and coil side CD is under N pole. So this commutator is also rotated. That is in first case the C1 is under S pole connected to the coil side AB under S pole. Sorry, N pole. That AB coil side is again to the C1 under S pole. So this commutator is switches its position, that is segment C1 and C2 it switches its position so that the current flows always in direction of Q and P like this. So in first case also this current flows in this direction from Q to P, and again after changing the coil side under S pole and N pole, it the direction of current remains the same in the load, that is from Q to P. So commutator has reversed the coil connection to the load, that is coil side AB is now connected to the point Q of the load and coil side CD to the point P of the load. That is, this CD is connected point P and coil AB is connected to the point Q of the load. So the direction of current through the load is again from Q to P. Thus, the alternating voltage generated in the loop will appear as direct voltage across the brushes. The EMF generated in the armature winding of DC generator is alternating, but by use of commutator, we can convert the alternating EMF to direct. Next is EMF equation of DC generator. So let's consider some factors, that is symbols, that is this is a phi which is denotes flux per pole in Weber. Second is Z, the total number of armature conductors present. Next is P, that is number of poles. Next is A, that is number of parallel paths. That is for left wave winding parallel path denoted as A, which is 2 for wave winding, and for left winding number of parallel path is equal to number of pole, that is A is equal to P. Next is N is equal to speed of armature in RPM, and EG is EMF of the generator or EMF per parallel path. So suppose flux cut by one conductor in one revolution of the armature. This flux cut by the conductor in one conductor in one revolution in armature is denoted as P into phi. P is number of poles and flux cut by the conductor, that is d phi is equal to P into phi wave. So time taken to complete one revolution is denoted as dt is equal to 60 divided by n, because in 1 minute there is a 60 seconds, 60 divided by n. Next is EMF generated per conductor. So EMF generated per conductor is d phi. So d phi is P into phi and dt is 60 divided by n. So this 60 this n goes to the numerator. So for final formula, this final arrangement is P phi n divided by 60 volt, that is EMF generated per conductor. This is for per conductor. So there are number of conductors connected in series parallel path. So EMF generated EG is EMF per parallel path. So EMF per parallel path is equal to EMF per conductor into number of conductors in series per parallel path. So number of EMF per conductor is already derived, that is P phi n divided by 60, but number of conductors in series per parallel path is total number of conductor divided by number of parallel. So Z divided by A. So for a final formula for EMF equation is EG is equal to P phi Z n divided by 60. This is generated EMF for voltage of DC generator. So where A is equal to 2 for wave winding, and A is equal to P for left winding. So numerical on EMF equation. So a 6-pole lap wound DC generator has 600 conductors on its armature. Total number of conductors is given. The flux per pole is 0.02 Weber. So calculate speed at which generator must be run to generate 100 volt, and what would be the speed of generator if we connected wave. So given is P, that is pole is 6 pole. Next is given flux per pole, that is 0.02 Weber, that is phi. EG is given 300 volt, and total number of conductors is also given, that is Z is equal to 600. Find क्या करना है, sorry, what we have to find, that is N. If EG is equal to 300 volt for left winding and N for wave winding also. So first we see the for left wound, that is A is equal to P, a number of parallel path is equal to number of poles, that is 6. So generated voltage is Eg is equal to formula for is Eg is equal to P phi Zn divided by 60A. So we rearrange the formula, that is we have to calculate that n. So n, this rearranged formula is Eg into a P pi Z. So by putting this value, we will get the that is we putting the value is equal to 306, E is equal to 6, P is equal to 6, pi is 0.02, number of conductors is 600. So we will get as 1500 R. For wave winding, A is equal to 2. So we again use same formula, but here A value of A is changed, that is 2. So the by calculating on the calci, we will get the n is equal to 500 rpm. Next is next numerical is an 8-pole lap mount armature rotated at 350 rpm is required to generate 260 volt. So the useful flux per pole is 0.05 Weber. If the armature has 120 slots, calculate the number of conductor per slot. First is given is number of poles 8. Flux per pole is given 0.05 Weber. Generated voltage is also given 260 volt. And slots is given 120. So number of conductor per slot we have to find. So for lap wound, given is lap one. So A is equal to P, that is P is given, that is 8. So generated voltage EC is equal to P phi Zn divided by 60. So we have to find total number of conductor first, that is Z. We rearrange the formula, that is Z is equal to Eg 68 divided by P phi N. So total number of conductors by putting the values, that is Eg is equal to 260, A is equal to 8, P Z, phi is equal to 0.05, N is equal to 350. Speed is also given, N is equal to 350 rpm. So we get a total number of conductors, but number of conductor per slot. So we have already given 120 slots. So total number of conductor divided by slot, we will get the number of conductor per slot. That is 890 divided by 120 is 7.41, approximately 8. So the answer. Next is the armature of 6-pole 600 rpm lap wound generator has a 90 slots. If each coil has a 4 turns, calculate the flux per pole required to generate an EMF of 288. We have to find calculate flux per pole. That is, we have to find phi. So already given is P is equal to 6, N is equal to 600 rpm, Eg is equal to 288 volt, and slots is given. So for lap one, A is equal to P, that is 8. So generated voltage Eg is given is formula is P phi Z and divided by 60. So flux per pole is we have to find flux per pole. So we rearrange the formula, that is Eg into 68 divided by P and Z. So each turn has two active conductors, means each turn has two coils at two active conductors, and 90 coils are required to fill 90 slots. So number of armature conductors, that is said, is number of slots equal to number of conductor per slot. The number of slots is already given, that is 90 slots. The number of, and also given, each coil has 4 turns. Each coil has 4 turns, means number of conductor per slot is 4 turns into 2, that is 2 active conductor. Each turn has 2 active, that is 4 coils are given. So 4 into 2, 8. So 90 slots into 8 conductors, we will get 720. So flux per pole is by putting the value, that E is equal to 288, 6, A is equal to 6, N is equal to 720, and Z is equal to 720, and speed is equal to 600. That is, speed is already given 600 rpm. So by putting this value, we will get a 0.04 Weber. So this is the our answer. Thank you.